Well, howdy, partner. Game 3 of a 3-game homestand in San Luis Obispo, capped off by a conference game against the Arroyo Seco Saints right before the Blues head down south for a SoCal swing. It's Western night in San Luis Obispo, and welcome inside the broadcast booth with my partner, Ryan Giacomini. I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network, and this is the Ancient Owl pregame show, getting you set for the Saints and the Blues. And Ryan's got quite the get-up today, looking like a cowboy.
I'm feeling festive, I gotta say. Borrowing the hat from a friend. It's about probably 5 or 6 hat sizes too small. So I'm going to be taking it off in a minute or so that it'll pass out.
So you get circulation.
Yeah,
to your
exactly.
Head. Oh, we need that for the broadcast.
Yeah, also so I can put my headset on because it doesn't quite fit. So, but yes, Western night, good day, good vibes at the ballpark.
I clearly missed the memo on that, Mark, but we're all good. And as Ryan gets his headset on, we'll recap last night against the Sonoma Stompers. The Blues fell to Sonoma by a score of 3-2. And what was mostly an uninspiring day offensively for San Luis Obispo, even with a 30-minute pep talk from manager Dean Traynor, grilling the guys before the game, trying to get them fired up, and there wasn't really any change in approach for this offense. The strikeout numbers were relatively average for the Blues standards, but they just couldn't come through with clutch hits. The only time they did was when E.J. Royal had a 2 RBI single in the 6th inning. And that would be it. No other offensive production than that. Don Jordan was a perfect 4 for 4. Aside from that, just very quiet night for the Bats.
Well, when you talk about, at bats in tough situations, the Blues actually were perfect with runners in scoring position. 1 for 1. That's the issue. You can't have only one at bat with runners in scoring position. E.J. Royal had a 2 RBI single when we had runners in scoring position. Outside of that, the Blues offense just didn't get going. That single was in the 6th, the 7th. They had 2 on with nobody out, but then some base running mistakes. Now you had two outs with nobody on, and then Comerford strikes out to end the inning just like that. So the Blues offense seemed to maybe have something going, and then they lost it all.
Well, to that point, you're thinking only 1 for 1 with runners in scoring position? Why was there only one opportunity to cash in runners? And it's like exactly what Ryan said. Base running mistakes left and right, which is pretty ironic because this season for the Blues, a strong point for them has been their ability to take an extra 90 feet when they can. Executing double steals. Take what is not given to you and get another 90 on the base paths. And yesterday, a couple of pickoffs and a couple of caught stealings, including a caught stealing pickoff double play, which I've never seen before. They just kind of found new ways to create outs on the base paths.
Yeah, I mean, whenever a runner gets thrown out on the base pass, I half line with a line that kind of cuts it off. I have 6 of those in my book from last night. Blues only had 8 hits and no walks. So 6 of your 8 base runners that reach base safely are getting thrown out on the bases. That's just not a great brand of baseball. Other than that, everything else looked good. The fielding was good, 1 error. Back-to-back games with 1 error, might I add. Maybe that's something that's turning around. The pitching was very solid. Kvidal made his debut, walked a few too many batters, but outside of that was good. And then Betancourt was disgusting, and Reynoso was good like he's been all season. So I think the pieces are starting to come together. You just got to continue to get better and better and better. It's a very competitive CCL this year. I mean, the Saints that they played today are a really good team. So it's going to be a tough challenge today. And then you go on the road. You play some South teams, including the Foresters, who are 7-1 this summer. So they really got to figure it out now.
The Arroyo Seco Saints are in 2nd place in the CCL South, which is a very competitive division in this league. The Foresters have a stronghold on it, not surprisingly. 7-1 right now. Santa Barbara is on a 4-game winning streak. But the Saints are right behind them, 2 games behind the Santa Barbara Foresters, and they have a lot of talent to back it up, too. It's nice for the Blues to get these challenge games the next few days with these Southern California teams, because I think they need that little jolt of competition. And, I feel like we're sometimes critical of the Blues, but I think that's because we have high expectations for them because of how much talent is on this team. We know what is capable of this roster, and we've just been waiting for that to really show out. I think they can hang with any team in the CCL South. Honestly, they had the number against Santa Barbara last season. They took the season series against them, and that's something you don't see a lot too. So I think the Saints today, and then you have the Barons, and then the Riptide, and then the Foresters. That's a good competitive swing for the Blues, but it starts today against the Arroyo Seco Saints.
Yeah, just too much talent to, only get 2 runs in a game and make silly base running mistakes, errors that, Division I programs won't have. There's 19 guys currently in the transfer portal, and I would say at least 15 of them are being looked at by Division I programs, and those are just little mistakes that teams are going to see and be like, those, we can't have those. You're going into your 3rd year of college. That's something we're not going to fine-tune. That's something you should already have worked out. So the Blues got to figure it out this summer, and preferably sooner rather than later, to make sure that little mistakes like that don't cost them games.
Well, 19 players in the portal in San Luis Obispo. In the entire transfer portal in the country, 5,500. It's only been open for about a little bit more than 10 days, almost a week now. 5,500 players in there. So you're going, okay, these are mistakes that can happen at the next level. We'll just look at another guy in the portal. There's 5,500 people I could be looking at. So that's kind of what we're thinking about as well when we talk about the Blues too. And speaking of getting recruited and playing at the next level, Luke Kovac, not in the transfer portal, but is the starting pitcher for the Blues today. He's a southpaw from Cal Poly SLO, but he didn't just make the short drive from campus just a few minutes up north from Sinsheimer. He actually got off a plane a couple of hours ago from Phoenix, Arizona in the Major League Baseball Draft Combine. Now, he didn't throw any pitches, obviously, as he makes a start today. Just did height and weight and all the physicals required for the Major League Draft. Got off the plane today, drove straight to Sinsheimer, and is making his first start in a Blues uniform. How about that?
I mean, that's dedication, especially when I look at this pitching staff that has about 20 arms, and you got a guy that is coming fresh off of a plane, driving straight here, got here later than most of the other players, about an hour, a little over an hour before game time. I mean, you got to get over there, do your whole routine, and get out there on the mound in a little over an hour. That's a tough thing to do, but it shows me 2 things. A, he really wants to pitch for the Blues, and B, Dean Traynor loves what he saw from him on film and maybe even in person at some Mustang games, and wants him on the bump today against a really good Saints team.
Well, we're excited what Luke Kovac can do. That'll do it from the Ancient Owl pregame show on the Slow Blues streaming network. Nate Mills and Ryan Giacomini on the call for you today. We'll send it down to the field, and we'll see you right after this. Yep. Hey, it's good she's getting my my video. That means the search engine optimization is working.
Maybe you'll see this guy.
You'd say fuck that kid.
All right, fans, the Blues are proud to announce today our free foul ball sponsor is J.D. Dewar, and they're going to throw out the first pick tonight. Out on the mound is Travis Hogue. Let's see what he's
Where do you go to
got.
school?
I go to St. Mary's College in California.
All right, that's strike one. Nice work, Travis.
Cal Poly? Nice. Yeah. Are you?
All right, fans, it's time to introduce the Arroyo Seco Saints and their starting lineup.
What city?
Number 17 playing shortstop is Trotter Enright.
Do you broadcast those?
Number 6 doing the catching is J.J. Kennett. Number 19 in center field is Lane Howarth. Number 11 batting cleanup, the second baseman Jack Little. Batting fifth, number 4, the designated hitter Jacob Freer. Batting sixth, number 10, the third baseman Jax Ryan. Batting seventh, number 17, first base Levi Manella. Batting eighth, number 9, the left fielder Gannon Snyder. The ninth batter is number 2, right fielder Joey Milto. And on the mound tonight for the Saints is number 31, doing the pitching, Joseph Estrada.
Like driving, like with baseball players before. It's like there's so much.
And now Blues fans taking the field are your hometown Blues. Let's give it up. Number 50, the center fielder, E.J. Royal. Batting second, number 1, that's the shortstop, Cade O'Hara. Batting third, the right fielder, Logan Hart, making his debut for the Blues today. Number 26, the designated hitter, batting fourth, Andrew Raymond. Batting fifth, number 16, the left fielder, Gavin Smith. Batting sixth, number 12, second baseman, Eli Henderson. Batting second, number 2, playing first base, is Zach Zallerman. Number 41, the catcher, Nico Button. The shortstop is batting ninth. That's number 3, Sam Ardois. And on the mound for the night, for the Blues tonight, making his Blues debut. Let's hear it for number 33, Luke Kovac.
Fresh off an airplane.
The Blues are led by Dean Traynor, assisted by Brian Traynor, Ray Regalado, Paul Teixeira, Randy Kozar, Chase Garcia, and Brandon Zecor. All right, fans, if you'd be kind enough to stand up if you're able, remove your caps, because we've got the national anthem being sung by the Central Coast Youth Chorus. All right.
Oh, yeah. Go.
Yippee-ki-yay! It's another day of Blues baseball on the Central Coast on what is a lovely Thursday afternoon. A beautiful rendition of the national anthem by the Central Coast Youth Choir. And we are ready. The Arroyo Seco Saints traveling up from Pasadena to take on the hometown Blues. Let's first take a look at the lineup for the Saints. Batting first, it's the shortstop, number 17, Trotter Enright. Then it's the catcher, J.J. Kinnett. Batting third, it's the center fielder, Lane Hallworth. Batting fourth, it is the second baseman, Jack Little. Then it's number 4, Jacob Fryer. He's the designated hitter in today's game, followed by the Sun Devil, Jax Ryan, playing third base. Then Levi Medella, first baseman, Gannon Schneider, the left fielder. And rounding it out is Joey Milto in right. Offensively for the Blues, a new look from last night. Gavin Smith gets his first start as a Blue in left. It's Royal in center. And Logan Hart making his Blues debut in right field. On the infield from third to first, it's Ardois, O'Hara, Henderson, and Tollerman. And behind the dish is Nico Bunton with Andrew Raymond as the designated hitter. On the mound today for the Blues, it's the lefty, a Mustang from Cal Poly SLO just down the road, and fresh off of a plane from the MLB Draft Combine, it's Luke Kovac.
Yeah, this kid's a bulldog right here. Coming off a torn UCL that required Tommy John surgery and a torn ACL in the knee as well. He's back and pitching for San Luis Obispo Blues. He's coming off a season at Cal Poly where he had a 6.23 earned run average in 2 starts and 3 appearances. Only pitched in 4 1/3 innings in those 3 appearances. 1 walk, 9 strikeouts, and 3 earned runs. So Kovac, he's a competitor. He's going to fill the zone against these Arroyo Seco hitters, and I'm really excited to see what he can do fresh off a plane from the desert.
Leading off for the Saints, number 17.
Leading off for the Saints, it's Trotter Enright, the shortstop, batting from the left side and wearing number 17. Saints today wearing their royal blue tops. Left pocket logo as the first pitch is a fastball right there for a called strike at 6:03 p.m. 89 miles an hour with game time temperatures at 62 degrees and sunny. A little chillier than what we've seen here in San Luis Obispo the last couple of days, but still a great day for baseball. That fastball is spiked into the dirt. 1-1. Blues took a loss last night to the Stompers as here's the 1-1, swung on and hit on the ground up the middle. O'Hara will field it, make a strong throw to first, and the first out of the game is a 6-3 putout.
And O'Hara kind of took his time squaring up this baseball. Took a couple of funky hops on that infield grass, and then finally a big one. He knows how to play the infield here at Sinsheimer. He knows he has to be patient. You don't know what kind of hop you're going to get on a ground ball like that. And, of course, he can be as patient as he wants. A bazooka at shortstop.
Strong arm. We've seen him throw low 90s on the mound this season. Do it from the field as well. Here's the first pitch to the 2-hole, and it's the catcher, J.J. Kinnett. Swings through it, and it's 0-1.
Bennett will be a junior this fall playing baseball at Baylor University as he takes a look at the 0-1. Check swing.
Another 1-1 count as that one misses up.
Side on side. 1-1 the count now for Bennett.
One of my favorite parts about summer baseball is that people are wearing gear from the school they just departed from in the spring. Like right now, Connect is a Baylor Bear. They're green. He's got a green shin guard.
He takes that one in the dirt. Yeah, it's very interesting because, you know, no green whatsoever in the Saints colors. It's really, I would say, what, white, blue, and like a beige tan.
Sand.
Sand, yeah. Working from the stretch. Here's the pitch. It's fouled off the umpire.
I thought it caught the top of the head on Nico Button, but I don't think it did. The front shoulder pad on the home plate umpire. Everyone's all good.
Button, the backstop today. Former Golden Bear looking for a new place to call home. Here's the 1-2. Misses in the dirt. Excuse me, that was the 2-2, and the count is full.
Yeah, a little left on right slider trying to tie up the 2-hole hitter and JJ Connect. He's a catcher. He's probably anticipating that pitch, and he's smart enough to lay off that offering. That's probably a game plan that he has used once or twice before.
Fans bellow for their hot sauce as that one is popped up in the air. Shallow right field. Coming in is Royal, but it'll be O'Hara on the outfield grass who makes the play.
A couple of plays by Kate O'Hara over at shortstop, and Kovac early on getting some soft contact against these Saints hitters. As Ryan and I talked about in the pregame, this is not a team to be taken lightly, to say the least. The second best team, according to the CCL power rankings of this past week. Kids can swing it.
Can swing it indeed. Here's another lefty. It's the 3-hitter as he looks at a slider for a first pitch. Lane Hallworth, the center fielder.
That's the slider that Kovac was trying to execute on Connect on that strike 2 pitch. It's a here for strike 1 at least.
Here's the 0-1. It misses down. Another guy in the portal, previously played at Wichita State. Had a solid campaign in 2024 with his .311 average and a .504 slugging, and then a little bit of a down year this last year in 2025. Just a tick under 200 with that average. Here's the 1-1. It's a fastball in the outer part for a called strike.
Yeah, down Broadway. And like I said, Kovac likes to attack these batters, and he just served up a fastball on a silver platter and said, here, hit this. Hallworth was tied up on it. A former AAC all-freshman team honoree in 2024, that great season.
Here's the 1-2. Misses away. Good slider. Started on the outer part and ducked away. And the deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the top half of the first inning.
I talked about the left-on-left slider to tie up, or the left-on-right slider to tie up a right-handed hitter. Even more effective with a left-handed batter, getting him fishing in the other batter's box. Thought about it, but held up the swing.
Worked it off the fastball in the outer part of the plate. Here's the 2-2. That one in the dirt, blocked by Button, and the count runs full.
So now Kovac's trying to go with a left-on-left slider, just missing below the zone, and kind of a sigh of frustration that time on that pitch. It was a really good pitch, just yanked it a little bit too much, not enticing enough for Hallworth to swing at it.
Hallworth is 8 for 27 this summer as he is going to draw a walk. His second walk this summer. And Jack Little will get an opportunity with 1 on and two outs.
Not too much harm done, right? You get 2 outs, and now you get a ground ball in the infield. Just go the easy way. Middle infield, just flip it to second base, and you're out of it.
Saw Kate O'Hara do that a few times in last night's game.
Jack Little, the right-handed batter from Katy, Texas, steps into the box to face Kovac.
Little neutral stance on from the right-handed batter's box. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses right above the letters. Kovac only works from the stretch, so no different than what he's been doing already to the first 3 batters. Little also from Wichita State, but has now committed to play at Baylor.
Here's the 1-0.
As that one misses down. A pitch that missed just up and a pitch that missed just down.
He actually played his past season at Baylor University with the Bears. 41 games started, 6 bombs, a .219 batting average. 30 runs driven in on his 34 hits, too.
There's a 2-0, swung on and fouled back over the netting. A lot of connection to the Shockers out there in Wichita.
Typically, that's something you see from the Santa Barbara Foresters when they're constructing rosters because of the Summer Ball World Series in Kansas. You're kind of in the heartland of America. You get all those Big 12 schools.
2-1 and a B move over to first base.
Obviously, Wichita State is not a Big 12 school. It's an American Conference school. But still, you're in the vicinity.
Jack Little's dad, Mark, is a former baseball player. Spent 5 years in the majors with the Rockies primarily, as he pops that one up. Button rips the mask off. Now he throws it away, and he will make the grab right outside the dirt circle. So a walk, but no damage from it, and the runner is stranded. He'll head into the bottom of the first inning here on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Bottom of the first inning, we're scoreless, as let me introduce you to the lineup today for the San Luis Obispo Blues. Batting first, it's the hometown kid, E.J. Royal. He'll be out in center field. Then it's Cade O'Hara. He got the start yesterday as well at shortstop. Then it's Logan Hart making his Blues debut batting third, followed by Andrew Raymond, the designated hitter, Gavin Smith, who's playing in left, Eli Henderson, the second baseman, Zach Tollerman, Nico Button, and Sam Ardois to round it out. On the mound today for the Saints is Joseph Estrada.
Righty from Lewis Clark State College, an NAIA powerhouse, if you will. He was a stud, too, at Glendale Community College in his 2 seasons of JUCO ball.
First pitch to Royal misses down from Estrada. And some very interesting numbers. Our incredible stats team works hard to give us really in-depth analysis, and we were able to look at the pitching report for Estrada today as that fastball misses high. 2-0. So Estrada has a 3-pitch mix, fastball, slider, changeup, but so far this summer he has thrown about 73% of his pitches as fastballs, as that went to Royal is a called strike down the middle. Of those fastballs, he tends to throw the first pitch fastball 75% of the time, so 3/4 of the time you're getting a first pitch fastball, as Royal slashes that one out into right field. Ranging over is Milto, and he will make the grab. So 75% of the time you're going to get a first pitch fastball, but about 30% of the time it's a strike. So it's not in the zone all that often. But then that second pitch in a 1-0 count, more likely to get a fastball, and it's more likely to be in the zone. 72% of the time it's going to be in the zone, and 86% of the time it's going to be a fastball. So, Nate, what do you see as a former hitter? What would your approach be against a guy like Estrada?
Typically with a guy who fills the zone like that with so many fastballs, my intuition would say, hey, ambush the first pitch, right? But the numbers you just gave tell the exact opposite. Get in that 1-0 count as best as you can. Have a good amount of patience, something the Blues weren't great at yesterday, drawing 0 walks against the Stompers. You get in that 1-0 count, get ready to swing.
So 1-0 is called strike. Missed the strike zone both to first 2 batters with both fastballs. As well, he only throws fastballs in 3-ball counts. There's the 1-1, swung on and chopped to third, and it is foul.
Well, we've talked about pitching backwards, right? The kind of the trend that you see in the modern pitching era from high school level all the way up to the major leagues. guys starting you off with maybe a curveball or giving you a changeup and then giving you that fastball at the very end. Estrada, a traditionalist.
This one is flared off to the right. We'll do the 1-2 again. Yeah, it's kind of a traditionalist because, yes, he does throw the fastball just a ton, but actually he throws the fastball the least amount on the first pitch of the at-bat.
Yeah.
So kind of backwards,
right? But
it's still 75% of the time first pitch fastball. Here's a 1-2. This one is popped up and foul.
And a cricket home run for Cade O'Hara there. But what I thought was fascinating, while we were going over his pitching tendencies, that being the right-hander from Lewis Clark State, Joseph Estrada for the Saints, he delivered a 1-0 slider to O'Hara.
That slider and changeup. So far this season, he's thrown 62 pitches. 52 of them are fastballs, as that one is a fastball, and it's by O'Hara. Strike 3 swinging to Cade O'Hara for the second out of the inning.
And O'Hara just kind of pulled his head on that swing right as the pitch was coming in. The front side flew open. That front left shoulder from the right-handed hitting O'Hara shortens your bat path. Your eyes go away from the ball. That gives you less of a chance to hit it. It's a good-looking slider, though, from Joseph Estrada.
Here's Logan Hart making his debut in a Blues uniform as he watches ball 1. 3 batters, 3 first pitch balls, all fastballs. So kind of fitting the tendencies that we saw in hhis 62 pitches that he's thrown so far this summer. Here's the 1-0, swung on and flared to the left. Hart, a 6'3", 200-pound lefty from Houston, California. Spent 2 years as a Pirate at Modesto Community College, now a Titan at CSU Fullerton in the Big West. Here's the 1-1, misses away.
Yeah, past season at Cal State Fullerton didn't go exactly to plan for Logan Hart. A 143 average, only playing in 8 games and making 1 start. He's got all of next year, though, only having 1 hit and 7 at-bats for Cal State Fullerton.
Here's the 2-1. Called strike on the outer part, a delayed strike call from the home plate umpire. With Modesto, his second season, that was a season to remember. 345 average with a 530 slugging. He also had 21 stolen bases to only 2 caught stealings, a speedster on the pass as he rips that one the other way, but it is foul and bounces into the Saints bullpen.
Well, the Blues could certainly use some successful stolen base attempts, right? After that ratio you just told me right there from his time at Modesto. A couple of pickoffs and a couple of caught stealings yesterday. Maybe Logan can turn that around if he reaches base here in the 2-2.
Here's the pitch. Misses away, full count. As well, last summer, he spent the summer in San Francisco with the Seagulls. 83 at-bats, just under 100 plate appearances. He drove in 11 runs. Now he finds himself with a different CCL North team in the Blues. Here's the 3-2. It's chopped to short. Enright will field it on the outfield grass. The throw to first is not in time. It gets past the first baseman, Medella, but Hart will stay put. It is a 2-out single for Logan Hart.
Enright just kind of waited way too long to get this throw off. He was really patient fielding that ground ball in the backhand in front of his chest. He made a couple shuffles over to first base. Hart with some good hustle going down the line, and I think Enright just kind of rushed the throw. Medella couldn't make the pick over at first base, and a 2-out single for the Blues.
Here's Andrew Raymond as he swings and flies this one into center field, but it'll be Snyder and left who will call off Hallworth for the 3rd out of the inning. A 2-out base hit to no avail for the Blues. We head into the top half of the 2nd inning here on the SLO Blues streaming network. 0-0 after an inning here on the Central Coast, as Kovac is back out there to face Freer, Ryan, and Medella. 5, 6, 7 for the Arroyo Seco Saints. First time the Saints and Blues have battled it out this summer.
These two used to be CCL South foes once upon a time, that being a couple of years ago.
Some reworks in the CCL as Kovac pounds in a first pitch strike to Freer. In 2023, the Lincoln Potters and Healdsburg Prune Packers were CCL North teams, and after that season they decided to part and join a different Summerwood Bat League, as swinging and missing at the slider is Freer. And then the CCL did some rearranging, had some affiliate teams, and the Blues ended up in the North, as they're the northmost team that was in the South and still in the CCL. Here's the 0-2, half swing, Button blocks it, but it bounces away. They're going to appeal. No swing.
1-2 now the count for Jacobs.
Both the Potters and the Prune Packers are in the Pacific Empire League. The Prune Packers won the CCL in 2022 and 2023, and then went to the Pacific Empire League and won in 2024. They have a good campaign to do it again in 2025, as fouling that, putting that one into foul territory and then sliding into the fence is Ardois as it goes out of play.
So Ardois did the right thing that time, just a little too late. When you are taught with a pop fly in foul ground to either side of the field, if you're an infielder or an outfielder, you're taught to slide feet first into the fence to avoid crashing into the wall and hurting yourself. Ardois did that. It was just a little too late and certainly held my breath when he hit into the wall there.
It bounces right back up, appears to be fine. He's coming set and throwing, and the 1-2 is Kovac. It's a slider that misses away. Count evens up at 2-2. Freer, Bellevue, Washington native at Azusa Pacific. Bats from the left side, throws with the right. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Kovac's first strikeout as a San Luis Obispo Blue.
Look at that. Luke Kovac, first K in a Blues uniform. Fastball upper outside part of the zone. Freer goes after it. Not a competitive swing. Just fooled on that pitch. Welcome to the CCL, Kovac.
Batting now for the Saints, number 10, the third baseman, Jax Ryan.
Counts Jax Ryan, the Sun Devil from Arizona State. I'll let Nate take over and tell you all about it. First pitch is a slider at the letters and a called strike.
Ryan kind of came into a buzzsaw of talent at the middle infield spot at Arizona State. There was a time where there were a couple guys that were hurt, and Ryan got some playing time. He saw a lot of action against TCU this season with ASU.
0-1, Sword. 0-2.
And once everyone got healthy, names like Kyle Walker, Matt King, who were also at the MLB Combine in Arizona, kind of took over at the middle infield spot and suffocated Jax Ryan with any opportunities. So now he's in the transfer portal.
Here's the 0-2. Called strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, partner. He'll trot it back to the dugout after 3 pitches, back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning for Kovac.
And Kovac just coming right at him with the heater and the slider. That's all he needed against Jax Ryan that time. This was a perfectly placed slider starting on the outer half of the plate to the right-handed hitter and breaking right into the zone. Ryan just got buckled up.
Now it's Levi Medella, the only first baseman listed on the roster for the Saints, getting the start, swinging and missing at strike 1. A Hawaii native, previously played at the University of Hawaii, now goes to Shorter University. 7 for 24 this summer. Here's the 0-1. It's outside, 1-1.
They're from Wailuku, Hawaii, which is where the Aloy brothers are from. The 2 brothers at the University of Arkansas who got bounced yesterday against the Tigers in walk-off fashion.
LSU, Coastal Carolina. Here's the 1-1. Slider misses up. 2-1.
And if I'm Kovac, I'm going back to the slider a lot more because these hitters are having a tough time figuring it out. Jax Ryan got buckled up for strike 3, and you just saw Medela shuffle around the batter's box.
That one was out over the plate but missed, maybe just a ball high. Here's the 1-2-1, swung on and fouled back. That was the fastball.
How about the fastball outer half to left-handed hitters, too? And the Saints have it set up to where there's a lefty in every other spot in the lineup, all odd numbers in this lineup for the Saints. Just work slider, fastball away, get those bats to chase after it. Stay tuned.
Here's the 2-2. Looking! Strike 3 called. Striking out the side is Luke Kovac. An impressive second inning as a San Luis Obispo Blue, and the bats are back up. It's the middle of the order. Smith, Henderson, and Tollerman, as I remind you that this half inning is brought to you by SLO County Golf. Bottom of the second inning, Gavin Smith steps into the box as I remind you that this half inning is brought to you by SLO County Golf. They offer 3 incredible courses in SLO, Morro Bay, and Atascadero with a unique combination of beautiful scenery as that one is chopped to third. Smith will leg it down the line as the throw is high and the tag is applied by Medela.
Beautiful throw from Jax Ryan all the way over to
If I'm playing a regular season game at a Division I program, I'm making the headset motion immediately on that play. I don't think Medela landed on that bag in time, and I'm honestly surprised we're not seeing Dean Traynor. Oh, there he is in front of the Blues dugout going to ask a couple of questions about that. I don't blame him. I think this is a play that could be overturned. I don't know who had a better angle than the first base umpire, but Dean is kind of just walking and talking in front of the Blues dugout. He's not coming onto the field. That bat will start for Eli Henderson.
First pitch is a fastball that misses away to Eli Henderson.
Eli Henderson from Clovis, California. Strike 1 here and counts now even.
Fastball in the outer half and evened up. The yellow jacket from Cedarville University.
59 hits on the season.
That one is chopped up the middle, charging it as the shortstop Enright. The throw to first is just in time to get Henderson.
And no overthinking that time from the shortstop Enright, who couldn't retire Logan Hart on the throw over to first. He timed the hop perfectly on the big bounce and fired a rocket to first base. Medela made the play. 2 quick outs here for Joseph Estrada.
And now it's Zach Tollerman. Tollerman played 2 days ago against the Stompers. He went 0 for 3, was hit twice. Dealing with a lingering ankle injury as that one misses low for ball 1. Last time he played before that was 13 days prior on the 4th of June, also against the Stompers, but up in Sonoma. Here's the 1-0. That one misses inside.
Zach Tollerman take a 2-0 count here in the bottom of the second inning.
Tollerman this season is 3 for 11 as he watches ball 3.
Tollerman didn't like that one high and inside, and he finds himself with a hitter's count here in the bottom of the second inning.
A double, a home run, an RBI on that home run. 3 strikeouts to his 3 walks.
Strada delivers on the 3-1.
3-1, misses inside. Ball 4 to Tollerman. Second time the Blues have had a base runner with 2 outs, as Nico Button will come up. See if they can produce something with 2 outs.
Yeah, last time they had a base runner with 2 outs, it didn't quite go their way. A first pitch pop out from Andrew Raymond. Button trying to change that narrative here. The tactician, named by Rene Regalado, the third base and hitting coach for the Blues. And Nico donning some new batting gloves today. We talked about batting gloves a couple of days ago in batting practice, how he had the baby blue BGs. He talked to us about how he has these bright fluorescent yellow gloves, and he was saying, I don't know when I'm going to pull these out. I guess today's the day.
Today is the day indeed.
Told us to wear some sunglasses when he wears these gloves, and he didn't give us a warning. I'm a little offended, and he's not considering our health at all.
I just put mine on.
There you go.
A 1-0. Similar spot, but a called strike. Yeah, my eyes feel better now.
Do they?
Yeah.
I need me some of those.
In San Luis Obispo, as he takes a look at a 1-1 count here from Joey Estrada.
1-1 misses away, yeah. So
2-1 now.
let's see if I take these off. What happes? Oh, yeah, they got it. Oh, back
God,
on.
get it back on.
Oh, yeah, that's so much better.
Yeah, jeez.
Now they're trying to get back in the groove for the Saints here. 2-1 count.
Here's the 2-1 to the backstop. Swung on and chopped. Just foul.
But with a couple of practice swings walking back into the batter's box, and this is a guy who takes his mechanics very seriously, always watching film, always studying it up, a former valedictorian at J. Sarah High School in Northern California. Certainly thinks about the swing a lot, but not too much.
His senior season at Cal Berkeley for Nico Button, and after graduating from UC Berkeley, looking to continue his collegiate career in grad school.
Here's the 2-2. Misses away, and the count runs full. Tollerman will be off of first. Full count and 2 outs to the former Golden Bear. Looking for a new place to call home for his grad year. Tollerman goes. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 called. Button did not think so. He'll talk to the umpire about it and maybe have a few words for him in the top of the 3rd inning here on the SLO Blues Streaming Network.
Trotter, Enright in the 3 spot here.
891, Snyder, Milto, Enright for the Arroyo Seco Saints to face Kovac, who is coming off a inning where he struck out the side. First pitch, misses low, ball 1. To Gannon Schneider. Schneider, an outfielder from St. Louis, Missouri, also a Wichita State, former Wichita State player, as now he's in the portal as he watches strike 1. He hit .252 this last season in 111 at-bats, 11 extra base hits, 11 driven in. And 1-1, look out at the toes of Schneider, 2-1. He had a really good freshman season where he batted .343 with almost a .430 slugging. He was only in 35 at-bats. He got a larger opportunity his second year. That one is swung on and hit pretty well down the left field line. It is going to be a fair ball. Rounding first and heading second is Snyder. Here's the throw from Smith. It's cut off by O'Hara. The first hit of the day for the Saints is a leadoff double for Gannon Schneider.
Yeah, how about a frozen rope at 91 miles an hour, one hopping the wall in left field. Kovac hung a slider to the right-handed hitting Snyder and just hit it hard, banging it off the fence and left. Leadoff double, and there goes a no-hitter for Kovac.
Now it's Joey Milto, reigning CCL Player of the Week, with 10 batters driven in. Spent the last 3 years as a Knight at Bellarmine. Originally from Greenwood, Indiana. Guys from all over the country playing for the Saints down in Pasadena. Here's the first pitch from Kovac. It's a called strike. First time he's dealt with a runner in scoring position in today's ballgame.
It seems like at Bellarmine there appears to be somewhat of a mass exodus at that program. Just looking at Milto's profile, and a lot of teammates are hitting the transfer portal too.
For a new place to call home for his senior season of spring baseball. Here's the 0-1. Slider that's foul tipped in and out of the glove of Nico Button for strike 2.
And he saw it as one of the few left-handed batters that I've seen today for the Saints roster that has been able to pick up the sweeper from the left-handed throwing Kovac today. He saw it. He just couldn't time it up correctly, but he wanted all of that one. Wanted to bang it over Hart's head in right field.
6'1", 210-pound senior, batting from the left side, blocked by Button. That one was in the dirt. Ball 1 to him.
And if Button has an 0 day at the plate as a hitter, you can always rely on his great defense behind the dish. He knows when to get on the knees and cover that baseball with his chest, when to slide left to right to get there. A brick wall back there for the Blues, a defensive asset for the Blues.
Struck out looking to end the second inning. Now behind the dish. Here's the 2-1. Strike 3 looking. 4th strikeout of the day. The third one that is looking as Joey Milto goes down.
And Kovac is just having these hitters guessing. You mentioned it, Ryan. The 3 strikeouts looking. In a summer league game where guys are swinging more often than not, you get 3 strikeouts looking within the past 4 outs. It's pretty impressive.
Now it's the dirt bag. Long Beach State.
What'd you just call me?
Here's the first pitch to him. Swung on and chopped to second. Henderson will field it on a couple of hops and flip it over to Tollerman for the second out of the inning. Snyder moves over to third on the ground out.
The go-ahead run 90 feet away for the Arroyo Seco Saints, but you got 2 outs now, and you get J.J. Connect, who popped out to Kate O'Hara for the second out of the first inning. And with the way Luke Kovac has been pitching, I feel some confidence in this situation, even though you got a runner in scoring position.
J.J. Kennett in his last AB popped out to shortstop, hoping to get some more firepower from him in the right-handed batter's box. Here's the first pitch.
The first pitch is swung on and missed.
There for strike 1. Count
He's hunting that one, and with 2 outs, you're looking for a base hit. You're not going to score a runner on a ground ball or on a fly ball. You're trying to find something in a gap and find some real estate. So that swing does not reflect that approach necessarily from Kennett.
It's the 0-1, right on left matchup, misses up and in. And Nate, you mentioned in his first at-bat that Kennett has that green ankle guard, or shin guard, I should say. I don't know if you notice his catcher's gear, head to toe in green.
Yep.
Repping the Baylor Bears. 243 there this last season as he watches strike 2 on the outer part of the plate. Strike away from getting out of the inning after giving up a leadoff double to the 8-hitter Gannon Schneider.
A good left on right changeup, too, from Kovac. He's trying to work on pitches, breaking away from the swings of batters. Let's see what he goes back to here.
90 feet away is the winning run, and it misses high.
Yeah, I'm usually not one to like that, off color. In a past life, I would have been like, what? Get the color of the team. But I kind of like it now.
Yeah, man.
Like when Caruso wears that purple from Northwestern, I don't know. It's cool.
Deuce's wild offering with the leading run 90 feet away. This one is flied into center field. Royal will charge it hard, but Smith will call him off and catch it over his left shoulder for the 3rd out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, a leadoff double stranded at 3rd on the SLO Blues streaming network. Ardois will lead it off, followed by the top of the order in Royal. Ardois has been a surprise for the Blues this summer. First time we've seen him at 3rd. We've seen him at short every other start he's made, but it's been good for the Blues.
Well, Sam sure has been good. He's starting to figure it out here in the summer with San Luis Obispo, and it's very exciting to see. You talk about liking seeing the gear of other guys in the Summer Ball League. I like seeing guys get hot. It's got me feeling really nicey.
Ryan Giacomini joined alongside John Gruden as the ULL Raging Cajun watches ball 2. Ardois, the last time he played was a couple days ago against the Stompers. He went 1 for 6 in that game with a big RBI double. Also had 3 strikeouts, looking to lower that number. A weird swing and bounced back to the netting behind home plate.
I don't know what just happened. I mean, I know exactly what just happened, but I have never seen a swing like that before. It was like a 50%er, and then he finished it, kind of.
It's kind of one of those swings you give when somebody's warming up to throw batting practice.
Yes.
That one misses way inside.
It's like when the BP thrower goes, hey, can you stick your bat out real quick?
Yeah.
So I have a target. That's what it looks like.
It kind of looked like he half swung and then made contact and was like, all right, I'll just finish the swing.
That's honestly impressive.
Here's the 3-1. Swung on and ripped down the left field line for a base hit. Ardois is going to round first. He heads for second base. The throw is not going to be there. Ardois has a leadoff double.
Hot off the press from Sam Ardois, ripping it down the left field line. Thing was sizzling into Snyder's glove and left. That was a full swing.
Jax Ryan almost made a play on it, but was just a touch too late as that ball was scorched. And now it's a leadoff base runner in scoring position, first runner in scoring position for the Blues for E.J. Royal, who yesterday had a 2 RBI base hit and a 1-for-4 day. He's riding a 5-game hitting streak. Check that.
Back to the top of the lineup here.
Ardois being held on by Little, the second baseman, as Royal lines that one up the middle. It's hit off the glove of the second baseman and bobbled in the middle infield. It's going to go down as a base hit, and it's 6 games now for E.J. Royal with a base hit. Ardois moves over to third.
Now we go. This is where you smell blood and you pounce. You get Cade O'Hara, slap a single. The Blues work on it every single day in batting practice. The game winner round. Can't win the game here, but this is a clutch situation for Cade O'Hara to strike first in this ballgame.
Fans start to trickle towards our 2 beer tents as they are looking for the Blues to score a run. Runners on the corners with nobody out. Cade O'Hara playing in his 3rd consecutive game, swings and fouls that one off his left leg. On Tuesday, he played, but not in the field. He pitched in, honestly, his best outing of the summer on the mound. 3 innings, gave up a run. It was unearned. It was one of the Manfred rule runners on second base in the extra innings. Struck out 4, no walks, as that one misses inside. And then yesterday, he started at shortstop, went 0 for 4 with a strikeout. So looking to have a bounce-back day today.
After a slow start today with that strikeout swing in the first inning, but can easily redeem himself with 1 swing of the bat. Wardrobe malfunction.
His elbow guard fell off. It's time at the plate before the 1-1 pitch comes in.
And this is actually a big moment for the Blues. Even though it's early in this ball game, this is the identity they're trying to create for themselves, coming through in the clutch.
Royal goes as that one is blasted into center field. It's going to be deep enough for a sacrifice fly as Royal will have to head back to first, and Ardois is going to come in to score. The Blues strike first.
Baseball. This one was just underneath the ball from Cade O'Hara. Missed it by that much. Straightens that out a little bit more. He might be sending that over Haworth's head in center field. But it does a job to the deepest part of the ballpark. A 370-foot sacrifice fly for Cade. Solid contact, and now here's Logan Hart, who has a base hit already.
The Blues will take it. It's the first time since they got back home on Tuesday that they have led in a game first, or they've scored the first run, I should say. Royal, a small lead off first, at least for his standards. Here's the first pitch to Hart, who's making his Blues debut. He had a base hit in his first at-bat. So he watches a slider down by his back foot for ball 1. Hart a Titan out of Fullerton. Called strike 1 on the outer half.
Before that, a stud at Modesto Community College, was second team All Big 8 his sophomore season with the Pirates.
Here's the 1-1. Royal goes. It's a slider. The throw down is a one-hop, and it's not going to be there. Royal has a stolen base, and the Blues have another runner in scoring position with 1 out.
It took a long time for Kennett to get that ball out of his mitt. I feel like he stood up when Royal was about a quarter of the way to the base. I thought he was going to be gunned down for sure, but Kennett might have had some issues gripping the baseball potentially and reeling it all the way back. Either way, it's a stolen base for Royal.
There's the pitch. It's chopped the other way for a base hit. Hart is going to round first and head for second as EJ comes in to score. Here's the throw. It's offline. The Blues get a second run as the fans scream yippee-ki-yay. 2-0 San Luis Obispo.
About Hart going the opposite way, huh? Another thing we work on in batting practice every day. Opposite way single, perfect 2-for-2 day in his debut, and that's all you really need. Hart's a big kid. He knows he can hammer the baseball. He can easily deposit it out of the yard into right field. But no, let's do a job and go the opposite way. Love it.
Halfway to the cycle in his debut, as the first pitch to Raymond is a called strike. Raymond flew out his last time. He was 1 for 4 in yesterday's game as well. Base hit, and he grounded into a double play. Here's the 0-1 to him, a slider that never came back. 1-1.
And this is the kind of inning the Blues have been looking for. You get opportunities with runners in scoring position. You don't make any silly base running mistakes, and you get some timely hitting from your guys at the top of the order.
Raymond, one of the 4 lefty batters in today's game. That one is fouled back. A huge secondary lead by Hart out at second base.
I think Hart wanted to take off towards third with 1 out, but at the last second changed his mind and scampered back to the bag.
It is your debut, and kind of one of the golden rules of baseball is I personally think it's you never want to make any out at third base. You're in scoring position, and in your debut, a lot of base running errors yesterday. Maybe not, don't make one yourself, as that one is chopped foul by Raymond. We'll do the 1-2 again.
Yeah, Hart with no stolen bases and no stolen base attempts this past season at Cal State Fullerton. So
he had 4 last summer with the Seagulls. Was caught twice.
That's in 25 games, too.
Here's a guy who can steal, though. He had 21 at Modesto Community College his second year there, as Raymond stares at a slider that does not miss by much.
And Raymond might have gotten a call there. This was a beautifully executed slider from the righty Estrada, trying to hit that outer half. Instead, a 2-2 count.
And we'll chat about this more, but Hart, his favorite player is Shohei, good bag stealer, and he models his game after Corbin Carroll, also a good bag stealer, and he's a good bag stealer himself. Maybe why he was getting jumpy as that one is chopped back up the middle for a base hit. Rounding third and heading home is Hart. He is going to score. It's a 3-run inning for the Blues in the third.
Look at that, 4 hits in the third inning, 3 spot for San Luis Obispo. This is how you play the game.
You got a runner on first with just 1 out. You have an opportunity to add on some more. It's Gavin Smith. Been with the Blues since day 1 this summer, and now it's game 19. As out comes the pitching coach for the Arroyo Seco Saints to talk to his starter, Joseph Estrada.
Coastal Pediatric Dentistry, Cool Cat Cafe, Colbert Construction and Plumbing, and Deep Blue Integration. Hey folks, the Blues also, they wouldn't exist without our host families. We'd like to sincerely thank all the local families that opened up their homes to our players this summer and made this season possible. If you're interested in
the group will head back to their respective positions. And it'll be Gavin Smith with a runner on first, an opportunity to do more damage. The home run hero from opening night. Blues have 5 on the season, and he had the first one as he swings and misses over the top of that slider for strike 1. Swinging and missing at that slider again is Gavin Smith, and it's 0-2. And if I'm Estrada, I would go right back to the slider.
Yeah, it's working really, really well. It's not missing by much, especially on that call ball to Andrew Raymond, which ended up haunting Estrada in the end.
Slider again. This one misses too far, and Smith doesn't offer. It's just interesting because Gavin Smith up there probably saw the scattering report, knows 82% of the time it's going to be a fastball, and a sitting fastball, and then he goes slider to start the at-bat. Something he might not have been expecting, but now has to adjust in a 1-2 count. Here it is, another slider. 2-2, 4 straight sliders. Mind you, coming into this game, Estrada had only thrown 5 total this entire summer, almost matching that mark in just this at-bat. Here's the 2-2 from Smith. This one, another slider misses away. Blocked by the catcher, Kennett, who's done a good job back there blocking the last 2 balls. We'll see if Raymond takes off from first with a full count and 1 out. He does. Swung on and chopped through the 5-5 hole for a base hit. Raymond will round second and stay there. And it's another base hit, 3 in a row for the Blues.
Putting the ball in play, good things happen. And these are some decently hit baseballs. They're not trying to send them out of the yard, just trying to move the line along to the next guy. Hart, Raymond, and Smith, 3 in a row, producing 3 runs for the Blues.
We're going to have a new pitcher. The Blues have put 5 balls in play this inning for hits, as Aaron Milam will take the ball out of the hand of Estrada, and we will let you know who the new noodle is after this on the SLO Blues streaming network. The new arm is a lefty. It is Chris Hernandez-Videz, Cougar from Azusa Pacific, previously played at CSU San Bernardino.
This is number 12.
This summer with the Saints. He's thrown 2 2/3 in his 1 appearance. He gave up 4 hits, a run, a walk, and a strikeout to his 13 batters faced. Last year at Azusa is a year to forget for him. He gave up 8 earned runs in 2 1/3. Looking to have a bounce-back summer with the Saints. So he will have to deal with Eli Henderson, who squares a perfect bunt down the third baseline. It's going to be a tough play at first, and he will make the out. Both runners move over into scoring position. A beautiful bunt from Eli Henderson.
Yeah, that was textbook. That was perfectly placed down the third base line. Jax Ryan, the former Sun Devil, just making a nice charge and a nice throw on the run to retire Henderson. It was a bang-bang play at first, but Jax Ryan won the race. 2 gone.
Henderson is not the speediest guy getting down the line, so it would have had to be perfect for him to beat that out. 0 for 2 in today's game now after going 2 for 2 in yesterday's game. Now it's Tollerman who watches a first pitch strike. Tollerman, the Spartan from San Jose State. Check swing, did he go? No, he did not.
2-1 in the count now for Tolliver.
One of 3 first basemen that the Blues have as he fouls that one back. See, I would say he's the only true first baseman. Sebastian Lopez, who played first last night, played a lot of first for the Red Hawks up in Seattle this last year. And Brendan Comerford, a primary third baseman who also will play first at times. A home run in his debut this summer as he watches the 1-2 up and away. And the deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with 2 runners on to number 22.
The stars have aligned. Make a wish, Ryan.
The Blues have 2 doubles in this inning as well. Throwing all the 2s you can as that one misses up and away. Full count. Good job by Kennett to come out of the squat and get that one before it went to the backstop.
Yeah, that would have been another run for San Luis Obispo if Kennett wasn't there in time.
Former Cougar and Highlander from Cuesta and UC Riverside. Here's the full count offering. Ball 4.
Just a little bit outside. Zach Tollerman.
Zach Tollerman draws a 2-out walk, and the Ducks are quacking for Nico Button.
2 walks today for this Blues offense. Both of them are from Zach Tollerman.
Breath of fresh air from last night when they had 0 in 9 innings of baseball. I think that has to be the first time that's happened all summer. I don't know for a fact, but I would say pretty good assumption there.
And for a team that's good with 2 strikes, it's pretty rare that you see no walks across the scoreboard for them.
Button was a Blue last summer as well. He was a good catcher last year as he watches ball 1 by his elbows. Went 13 for 55 last summer, 9 walks to his 8 strikeouts. Not a big slugging guy, only 4 doubles. Also didn't drive in a ton of runs, but a good defender and knew how to get on base. As that one misses up, 2-0.
A proven Division I player, though, in 2024 with Cal Berkeley, a .319 average of .426 slugging, 9 bombs, or check that, 1 homer, 9 runs driven in with the Bears.
Didn't get the opportunities he wanted this last season with the Golden Bear, as the 2-0 is right there, 2-1. Now enters the portal for his graduate year, originally from San Mateo. Looking to send this baseball to San Mateo and drive in a few runs. Fastball on the outer part, and the deuces are wild once again.
Mendez inching his way closer and closer to retiring this batter in this inning for the Saints. Try to come back in the top of the 4th and bounce back from a rough bottom.
Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3.
Swung on and missed, strike 3 call.
The new pitcher, Hernandez Vides, gets out of it without giving up another run. But the Blues put up 3 in the 3rd on Western night, and they lead it. The first time they have scored first all-home trip. As I will pass it over to Nate Mills for the rest of the game here on the SLO Blues streaming network.
Middle third of this ball game, the Blues lead 3-0 against the Arroyo Seco Saints. A 3-run inning brought to you by 5 hits for this Blues offense. New pitcher in for San Luis Obispo. It's the flamethrower, Jaden Turner. He's up on strike one against Lane Haworth. 0-1 to the center fielder, batting left-handed. It's Haworth, Jack Little, and Jacob Freer due up for the Saints. Here's a slider that's popped up high into right field. The second baseman, Henderson, camped underneath it, makes the one-handed grab for the first out.
Good start to Jaden Turner's outing. He's been a really good arm for the Blues out of the bullpen. Kovac, his day is done after flying all the way here to throw 3 innings of baseball.
And he looked spectacular. He was sequencing pitches really well, nibbling on the outer half to lefties and righties, whether it was the changeup or was the slider. The stuff was on for Kovac. I really liked how he attacked hitters. Here's the first pitch slider to Jack Little that misses low, 1-0. Last time Jaden Turner rolled out there for San Luis Obispo, it was in Game 1 against the Walnut Creek Crawdads. 5 innings of work, 6 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. The 1-0. And here's a called strike on the outer half, 1-1. An uncharacteristic outing for Jaden Turner, I would say, against the Crawdads with just 2 strikeouts and 5 innings pitched. But, you know, you play a team like Walnut Creek that hits the ball like they do, they're going to be aggressive. Swinging and missing on a changeup for strike 2 here. And Turner fell victim to those bats up north in Walnut Creek. Fans want their hot sauce. They got 4 bottles today already as Jack Little takes his time getting back in the batter's box. Little 0 for 1 today. A pop out to the catcher Button to end the first inning. Swings and off the end of the bat, cues it to Tollerman, who flips it to Turner at the bag for the second out of the inning.
All right, we're all set for the rescue race now, guys.
Jack Little almost breaks his twig on a slow roller to the first baseman Tollerman. Easy flip over to Jaden Turner, who won the foot race at first for the second out. Here's Jacob Freer now, the DH batting 5th, who struck out swinging to lead off the second inning.
Stepping in now for the Saints, number 4, Jacob Freer.
Freer, an infielder from Azusa Pacific University, a D2 powerhouse, and for the Cougars started in 3 games this past year. First pitch, and it's a called strike, 0-1. A 200 batting average, 2 for 10, and one of those hits was a triple, which drove in 2 runs. 3 strikeouts and no walks in his first season of college baseball. Right back up the middle and off the back of Turner, who can't find it. Racing over to first, the throw in time. Nice play by Jaden Turner to take the baseball off the back, recover, and hurl it over to Tollerman for the third out. 3 up, 3 down for Jaden Turner. Into the bottom of the 4th we go. Brought to you by Studio Design Group Architects. Bottom of the 4th is brought to you by the talented team at Studio Design Group Architects. Whether you're designing, planning, or needing permits for a new space, Studio Design Group and their collaborative philosophy have you covered. Visit sdgarchitects.com to learn more. Bottom half of the 4th, Jaden Turner just finished out a 1-2-3 inning after replacing Luke Kovac, who started this game. Now due up for San Luis Obispo, it's Sam Ardois, E.J. Royal, and Cade O'Hara. First pitch, and Ardois takes it low for ball 1. Sam doubled the last time he was up in the 3rd inning, usually hitting in that 2 spot for Dean Traynor and his Blues, but batting 9th today is sort of acting as a secondary leadoff man. 1-0, And he swings and pops it up. It will be out of play off to the right for strike one. A long strike one at that for Sam Ardois, 1-1 the count.
Yeah, he got the party started in the third inning with his leadoff double in that inning. He later came around to score on the Cato O'Hara sacrifice fly and was the catalyst for a 3-run inning.
Representing a great summer for Ardois. As this pitch is a called strike on the lower half, 1-2. That's his 4th double of the summer. And pair that with a home run in his 10 hits so far with the Blues. The 1-2. Ardois spits on this one in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sam entered this game with a .294 batting average, but a .588 slugging. These are numbers that we haven't seen at any point in his collegiate career, and it's really exciting to see it come to life here in San Luis Obispo. The 2-2. Ardois flinches, but the pitch misses inside and fills it up at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ardois, mostly known as a guy who can kind of just slap the baseball around the yard and get on with his athleticism on the base paths and make it happen there, but showing some power numbers here. 3-2. Ardois spoils it foul. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at all of last summer, he only had 6 extra base hits, and he already has 5 this summer. So, as you mentioned, something we did not see from him last year are the slugging numbers, but there's something that he's finding.
Had a double yesterday as he swings and sends it on the ground the opposite way. Little, the second baseman, gobbles it up and throws it over to first in time for the first out of the inning. And Little just kind of threw his glove at that baseball rolling to him, caught it off to his left side, didn't really square it up all the way. An unorthodox ground ball fielded by Little. One gone for E.J. Royal, the leadoff man. Royal is 1 for 2 today, a single in that fateful third inning, which brought home 3 runs for the Blues and a pop out to right field. First pitch from Hernandez-Valdez misses high and outside for ball 1. You talk about being a catalyst for hitting, and Royal is exactly that. A .412 batting average heading into today's game. EJ leaves it high, 2-0. The team leader in, actually second on the team in hits with 22 behind Don Jordan, who's getting an off night today. 2-0. EJ leaves this one high, 3 balls and no strikes.
I feel like that's unfair to EJ if you don't mention that Don Jordan has 10 more at-bats and Royal only falls behind by 3 hits.
Royal takes a fastball in the outer half for strike 1.
Not to take away from Don Jordan's incredible summer he's having either.
To put that on paper, Don Jordan has a .385 average and EJ has a .412 average. 3-1. EJ is late on a fastball here and fouls it out of play, strike 2. Royal on a 6-game winning hitting streak. A hit in the third inning, fueled that streak, and kept the line moving for the Blues and came around to score on a Cato O'Hara sac fly. Royal sends this one to center field directly at Haworth, who takes a couple steps back and makes a grab for the second out. 2 gone for Cato O'Hara, who hit that sacrifice fly in the third inning and struck out swinging in the first.
Stepping in now for your Blues, number 1, Cato O'Hara.
O'Hara with 9 hits coming into today's game in his 37 at-bats. 2 of them for extra bases, they're both doubles. He's driven in 3 runs so far for San Luis Obispo this year. With a slightly open stance the first pitch, O'Hara moves his arms over a fastball that's a called strike, 0-1. Standing on deck, it's Logan Hart, having a perfect day at the dish so far, 2 for 2 evening. The 0-1, O'Hara recklessly swings and misses for strike 2. Tough with 2 now is Cato O'Hara digging in the back of a crater built in the right-handed batter's box. Joking up on the bat, the 0-2. Cade chases a high fastball for strike 3. 1-2-3 inning for Chris Hernandez-Valdez as we head into the 5th inning. Blues up 3-0 over the Arroyo Seco Saints on the Slow Blues streaming network. 6, 7, 8 due up for the Arroyo Seco Saints in the top half of the 5th inning. Blues up 3-0 over the Saints in game 3 of a 3-game homestand at Sinsheimer just before they hit the road tomorrow for a SoCal swing. And it's Jax Ryan, the former Sun Devil, leading it off. 0 for 1 today with a strikeout looking. Ryan, his first pitch swinging and missing for strike 1.
This is number 10, Jax Ryan.
Ryan from Verdigris, Oklahoma on the 0-1. And he watches it go in the dirt for ball 1. 180-pound infielder. And batting 389, or check that, batting 267 on this young summer for the Arroyo Seco Saints. 4 hits in his 15 at-bats heading into today's game. High towering fly ball, but well foul and out of the stadium, strike 2. Ryan this past season at Arizona State, a 281 batting average, a 377 on base, and a 371 slugging. 1 home run for the Sun Devils and 5 doubles. 1-2 is dribbled foul down the third base line. A jump throw from Ardois just to get the rep. 1-2 to Ryan, who is in the transfer portal after a couple of years in Tempe, Arizona, rocking the maroon and gold. Lots of infield talent over there at Arizona State. Ryan, who was struggling to find the field with Kyle Walker and Matt King up the middle, looking somewhere else. Spins it up and out of play. Do it again at 1-2. Ryan sort of acted as a utility man for the Sun Devils too. And their third baseman, New Contradas, would go out. Ryan would come in. 1-2. Ryan pops it up high in the air to right field. Hart, who was playing in, will have to race back towards the fence and make the grab with 2 hands for the first out of the 5th inning.
Good job by Hart. It's not an easy field to play at, especially in right with the wind blowing from right to left. The ball can kind of die out there, so racing back and then getting under it and then adjusting. Good job.
Well, Hart is making his Blues debut today, the first time he's playing the outfield here at Sinsheimer Stadium, and he's getting pretty accustomed to it so far. So with 1 out now, here's Levi Medella, the first baseman hitting left-handed and batting 7th. First pitch from Turner is crushed into right field. Hart, who was playing shallow again, will make the grab running towards the warning track. A baseball that was just knocked down by the dense coastal air here for the second out.
Again, it's really tough to hit the ball out into right field because of dense coastal air. It's a little bit colder in today's game, and the wind just blows so hard from the right field foul pole to the left field foul pole during most of the game. It kind of just kills baseballs. Nate and I were out there yesterday shagging some batting practice, and you literally can watch the ball hit its peak and then almost drop straight down.
Playing with the elements here. First pitch misses low to Gannon Schneider for ball 1. Schneider today the only Saint with a hit. It was a double in the 3rd inning, and he was stranded in scoring position. Snyder in the transfer portal after a couple of seasons at Wichita State. Sweeper missing outside, 2-0. Had a good 2024 for the Shockers, a 343 average in 10 starts. 3 extra base hits, and his 12 hits there were all doubles, and was really good off the bench for Wichita State. 2-0, he chases a fastball for strike 1. 4 for 9 coming off the bench for Wichita in 2024. As he got more playing time in 2025. 28 hits in his 111 at-bats, 9 doubles, a triple, and a homer, and 252 average. Sweeper missing outside, 3 balls and 1 strike now to Gannon Snyder. 4-year winner for head coach Andrew Jenn at Parkway West High School in St. Louis, Missouri. The 3-1. Swings and pops it up here. Playable for the first baseman, Tellerman, who ranges into foul ground and clanks it off the glove with 2 hands. Tellerman loses focus at the last second and can't make the play. And another life here for Gannon Snyder.
That is a play Tellerman makes 99 out of 100 times, and that's the one time he doesn't. So played 4 years of college baseball, 2 at the Division I level at first base. It's a play he makes 99% of the time.
And that's a matter of focus here. The Blues can't get complacent up 3-0 over the Saints, and it's kind of plays like that make you think they're taking the foot off the gas a little bit. Here's a 3-2, and the sweeper is swung on and missed for strike 3. Gannon Schneider sheaths the sword. 3 up, 3 down in the 5th inning. We head into the bottom of the 5th. Halfway through from Sinsheimer. Blues up 3-0. The SLO Blues Streaming Network. New pitcher in for the Arroyo Seco Saints in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Cade Schumard, the Cowboy from New Mexico State, facing 3-4-5 in this Blues lineup. San Luis Obispo up 3-0 over the Arroyo Seco Saints. The lefty from the windup delivers to Logan Hart, who shows bunt and pulls it back for ball 1. Logan making his Blues debut today and is a perfect 2 for 2. An RBI single in the 3rd inning, slapped the opposite way down the third base line for the left-handed hitting Hart. Slightly open stance in the left-handed batter's box. He awaits the offering. 1-0. Hart takes high, 2 balls and no strikes. Schumard, a rising sophomore from Scottsdale, Arizona, a graduate of Saguaro High School. As this one's a called strike to Logan Hart, 2-1. Started in 1 game for the Cowboys this past season in 8 appearances, 7 1/3 innings. Off the end of the bat, a slow roll to Ryan at third. Throw on the run in time to get Logan Hart. For the first time today, and for the first time in a Blues uniform, Logan Hart has been retired.
Beat out an infield single in the first. Couldn't do the same right there. He is flying down that line. The Blues, I love what the Blues have this season in terms of speed. It's up and down the lineup. Catchers are plus speed. You know, all the outfielders are plus speed. The infielders are plus speed guys. Not a lot of guys who you won't trust to steal a bag or beat out an infield single or a bunt single, something along those lines.
First pitch to Andrew Raymond's a called strike, 0-1. And for Logan Hart, for a guy who models his game after Corbin Carroll, that makes perfect sense. The 0-1 to Raymond is swung on and popped up into right field. Milto calls off the second baseman Little and makes the running grab in the shadows for the second out. A couple of easy outs here for the new pitcher, Cade Schumard.
Raymond was just out in front of that slider and caught it off the end. pulled it to Milto up in the air, and an easy play for Milto charging in.
Gavin Smith, his first pitch swing, and sends a base hit into right center field. Ambushing the fastball, the first offering he gets, a 2-out single for the Blues.
Ambush has been Gavin Smith's style all summer long. He hasn't been super successful, but he has his second hit today, and that one was pretty well hit the other way. That is a sign that a player is seeing the ball really well. First pitch and you drive the ball the other way, a really good sign from Gavin Smith, a guy who Dean Trader wants to play more and more. And could be a really good bat, as he's proven at times this summer.
There's the Clovis native Eli Henderson. First pitch to Eli is a called strike on the outer half. A 2024 All-GMAC second team selection with the Yellow Jackets at Cedarville University. Sizable lead at first for Smith as Henderson watches a curveball break in there for a strike. That was a ton of movement on that pitch from Schumard.
Definitely an opportunity here. You could see Gavin Smith running.
0-2. Henderson flinches and the pitch kicks away from Kinnett. Gavin rounds second and he thinks about third. He's caught in the middle and he'll shuffle back towards second base. It could have been an extra 90 feet for Gavin Smith if Kinnett didn't get to that ball in time. It kicked high off his chest protector too. And with the speed of Smith, he could have maybe tried for 3.
It's a big backstop, and it's not a wood backstop, so it kind of absorbs it.
1-2. Henderson buckled up on a sweeper for strike 3. That's a beautiful pitch from Cade Schumard. The Blues got to be watching out for that one in this ball game. 5th inning is over. 3-0 Blues. We head into the 6th on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. 9-1-2 due up for the Arroyo Seco Saints in the top half of the 6th inning. Blues lead 3-0 against the Saints. 7 hits versus Arroyo's 1. First pitch to Jaden Turner is a sweeper, followed by Joey Milto for strike 1. Milto 0 for 1 today with a strikeout looking in the 3rd inning. Entering the transfer portal after 3 seasons at Bellarmine. Pitch missing outside, 2-0. Milto is the reigning CCL Player of the Week, and in 23 at-bats heading into today's game, a .391 average. Driven in 10 runs on 9 hits. 1-0. Milto swings and drives it into right center field, charging fast and diving is Hart in right field. Dazzling grab by Hart, making his Blues debut.
He has played an incredible right field for the Blues so far today, and he's done it with the bat. Good pickup for the Blues.
He's getting the dimensions down quickly. We saw him a little earlier, him playing pretty shallow in right field, and he had to race back to get a ball over his head. And right there, making an excellent diving grab for the first out. So now it's the leadoff man, Trotter Enright, who's 0 for 2. Enright flinches on a pitch, missing outside, 1-0. A couple of ground ball outs from the shortstop batting left-handed. And the dirtbag from Long Beach State. He's played his first season of college baseball in Long Beach. The 1-0. Pitch missing low. And 2 balls and no strikes to Enright. 28 starts this past season in the Big West team, Long Beach State. A .240 batting average. Drove in 8 runs. 2-0, fastball in there for a strike. A native of Newberry Park, California. A very baseball talent-rich area in Southern California. Turner from the windup on the 2-1, the pitch. Changeup missing low, 3 balls and 1 strike.
It was a good off-speed pitch right there. Had some confidence to go to it in a 2-1 count, but just missed low. A good hold from Enright. Now you got to get your best pitch here in a 3-1 count.
He'll the infield wide open, the 3-1, and he'll take it for strike 2. A curveball from Jaden Turner fills it up at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Enright. J.J. Kinnett stands on deck for the Saints. The payoff. Swung on and chopped the opposite way. The third baseman, Arroyo, with a couple shuffles, throws it across the diamond to retire Enright for the second out of the 6th inning.
Really good play from Arroyo. Didn't do too much with it, just fielded it, pumped it in his glove, and then throws it over to first.
A big right-hander from Riverside City College, Sean York, getting hot in the bullpen for the Blues. Here's Kinnett, who has been retired on a couple of pop-outs. First pitch, he shows bunt, gets it down, but it's right back to the pitcher Turner, who just threw it over to the first in time. A couple of pieces of equipment came off the arms of Kinnett, but he's retired at first base. 3 up, 3 down, and the top of the 6th inning, bottom half of the frame, is brought to you by Ancient Owl, who's up 3-0. Home half of the 6th, Blues up 3-0 over the Arroyo Seco Saints. And it's brought to you by Ancient Owl Beer Garden and Bottle Shop, your go-to spot for every Blues road game, located just around the corner from Sinsheimer Stadium. Ancient Owl is the official home of the Blues watch party all season long. Ancient Owl, choose your beer wisely. A new pitcher for the Arroyo Seco Saints, it's Daniel Tovar, the right-hander from Nevada. Native of Encino, California, and a former JUCO bandit from LA Valley College. 7-8-9 due up for the Blues in this inning. First pitch, Tallerman swings and misses for strike one. Tovar made 7 appearances, all in relief, and struck out 3 in 8 2/3 innings last season at Nevada. Struck out over 2 scoreless innings in his first stint against Cal Berkeley the day after Valentine's Day. Pitch missing outside to Tallerman, 1-1. Tallerman a couple of walks today, and he's the only Blue to draw a walk. A 1-1. Tallerman swings and bounces it to the third baseman, Ryan, in foul ground. He makes the throw across his body in time. What a play by Jax Ryan in foul ground to retire Zach Tallerman for the first out of the 6th.
He knew the scouting report over there at third, knew Tallerman was not a great runner, so he took his time and threw a good ball, threw a strike over to first base.
With one gone, it's Nico Button. A pair of strikeouts today, one looking and one swinging. Making a start today after playing in Game 2 against Walnut Creek in the 4-game road trip. Here's a one-hopper, hot shot to Ryan at third, and a nice play again by the former Sun Devil to retire Button for the second out of the 6th.
Back-to-back web gems over there by Ryan. Put on a clinic. Makes a throw on the run, and that time, happy birthday to you, one hop.
He played some good defense at Arizona State this past spring, but just got out-hit by a couple of talented bats in the lineup for Arizona State. Now in the transfer portal, Jax Ryan, as Sam Ardois digs in. First pitch missing outside, 1-0. Ardois in the transfer portal himself after redshirting his first season at Texas and having an underwhelming year at University of Louisiana Lafayette. 1 for 2 today, a double in the third inning, and he's been hitting a lot of those lately. 1 for 6 yesterday, and his only hit was a double. And here's a called strike to Ardois, 1-1. Sammy also grounded out to the second baseman Little in the 4th inning. Leadoff man E.J. Royal stands on deck with 2 outs. A 1-1. Ardois takes, and it's a called strike, 1-2. It was an RBI double in yesterday's game against the Sonoma Stompers. Also struck out 3 times as well. Tovar from the stretch, getting his sign from his backstop connect. He steps off the rubber, trying to get on the same page. Tovar is a sophomore at LA Valley College. Made 15 starts and had a 3.30 earned run average, 85 strikeouts over 79 innings of work. The 1-2. Ardois spits on a changeup low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Entering his senior season with the Wolfpack, Daniel Tovar is. Ardois still uncommitted in the portal. Part of the 5,500 that are in the portal. Pitch missing outside, 3-2. On day 1, when the transfer portal opened on June 2nd, there were already 1,500 kids trying to switch schools. That's grown to close to 6,000 now. The payoff, Ardois fouls it straight back. We'll do it again at 3-2. Ardois in the midst of a battle against the new pitcher, Daniel Tovar. Bullpen empty for the Saints. Sean York getting hot for the Blues. 3-0 ball game, the 3-2. Ardois pops it up, and it'll be out of play off to the right. It lands in the orange row at Sinsheimer Stadium. We'll do it again at 3-2. Ardois putting together a lot more complete at-bats this summer, I would say. Would swing early and would miss last summer with the Blues, and has really matured and has bared down in the early going in 2025. 3-2. Ardois takes strike 3, and he knew it all the way. Daniel Tovar strikes out Sam Ardois. 3 up, 3 down for the Blues. We head into the 7th inning. Blues up 3-0 on the SLO Blues Streaming Network.
Number 19, Lane Howard.
3-4-5 due up for the Arroyo Seco Saints. The Blues lead at the Saints 3-0 in the top half of the 7th inning. Jaden Turner heads back out there for his 4th inning of work against these Arroyo Seco hitters. Lane Haworth leads it off. First pitch misses outside, 1-0. Haworth 0 for 1 today, a pop out to the second baseman, Henderson. He also walked back in the 1st inning, the only walk issued from Blues pitching today. A 1-0. And Haworth takes a fastball, barely missing outside, 2-0.
Jaden Turner's looked really good, but it's not really Jaden Turner-esque. 9 up, 9 down, but only 1 strikeout. Usually he gives up more strikeouts.
2-0. And a fastball missing outside, 3 balls and no strikes. 14 strikeouts on the summer for Jaden Turner entering today's game in his 12 1/3 innings pitched. That is the team leader. And pitch misses low for ball 4. 4-pitch walk, and that's really not like Jaden Turner, as Lane Haworth is aboard with his 2nd walk of the day.
Now batting for the Saints, number 11, Jack Little.
Blues lead by 3, and leadoff walks are ill-advised and could come back to haunt you. And Jaden Turner now has to work with a runner on first and nobody out.
And they sure can, Ryan. The tying run is standing on deck for Arroyo Seco and Jacob Freer. For now, it's Jack Little who takes strike 1 on a sweeper, 0-1.
So much confidence in that sweeper. 4 straight balls to Haworth, and then you go first pitch sweeper to the next batter. Shows you how much he trusts that pitch.
Conservative lead at first base for the center fielder Haworth, as Turner picks over. A move is not in time to get Haworth. Jack Little is from Katy, Texas, a former Shocker from Wichita State turned Bear at Baylor. He was American Athletic Conference All-Freshman in 2023 with the Shockers. 1-0. Swings and misses at a sweeper here for strike 1. Started in 45 games for Wichita State in 2023 in that all-freshman season. .250 batting average, 3 long balls, 7 doubles, and a triple in his 38 hits. And pick over to the bag. And Haworth is back in safely again. 0-2 to Jack Little. A .419 batting average heading into today's game. 13 hits and 31 at-bats. He creeps off second, and he thought about trying to catch Turner sleeping, but he's back to the bag safely. Good communication from the infield. I heard Sam Ardois at third yelling at Turner to step off. He did so at the right time. So it's Little in an 0-2 count. No outs and a runner on first. The pitch, Little swings and misses for strike 3. Jack Little goes down swinging. Second K of the day for Jaden Turner.
It's more like Jaden Turner. Strikeouts is kind of the name of the game for him. He averages over 10 strikeouts per 9 innings of work.
That's good. Here's the Bellevue, Washington native Jacob Freer. Now a SoCal resident at Azusa Pacific playing for the Cougars, a D2 powerhouse. First pitch is a called strike, 0-1. A .333 average before today's game. 8 hits in his 24 at-bats. 4 walks to his 4 strikeouts, and today struck out swinging and grounded back to the pitcher in Turner. It was that play that crept up on the back of Jaden Turner. It was a ground ball that hit right off his back, and Jaden couldn't find it. He was scrambling all over the infield grass to look for it. Found it, quickly picked it up, and threw it over to Tollerman to make a nice play to retire Freer. So 0 for 2 today. The pitch. Runner goes, and he sends a fastball straight bat for strike 2. Frustration ensuing for Freer, as he now knows a runner will not be in scoring position after that pitch.
Freer struck out in the second and grounded out to the pitcher in the fourth. He's looking to get his first hit of the day
from the belt.
On the 0-2 count.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him on the changeup. Second straight strikeout for Jaden Turner.
Your program and see if you have
Looking really good out there. He's only given up the walk, no hits through 3 2/3. This is the Jaden Turner we know and love.
Here's Jax Ryan, the former Sun Devil from Arizona State and an Oklahoma native. Can't be too happy right now about his Thunder, who are losing 95-68 in the fourth quarter against the Indiana Pacers.
Pacers going to force a Game 7 on Sunday.
Pick over to first, and Haworth is back in time.
It's the perfect sports time right now. Stanley Cup Finals just finished. The College World Series is happening right now. NBA Finals.
Ryan takes strike 1.
We're in the middle of the baseball season. It's kind of awesome.
Would you say right now or October is the best time for sports? You get the sports equinox in October.
Yeah. There's more meaningful games right now.
Chopped and foul at home plate from Ryan, 0-2.
Because in October, obviously, you get the playoffs for baseball, but that's about it, right? You know, football's just starting. Basketball's just starting. Hockey's just starting to back up again. This is I think this is a better time, honestly, because you're getting prime college sports, you're getting prime professional sports, and you also get the regular season of the MLB.
The 0-2. Runner goes, pitches in the dirt. Button keeps it in front, and a stolen base for Lane Haworth.
What do you think?
You low-key convinced me, because I was going to say October is better. I think the postseason for baseball carries a lot of weight in that discussion.
It's just a lot of regular season games. Or there are college sports going on that I'm ignoring. There's college football in October.
Yeah. 1-2. Slider missing outside. Button backhands it 2-2.
It'd be interesting. I don't know. Like when is rivalry weekend? I think it's later than that.
Turner gets back on the mound with a runner on second base. The tying run is on deck for the Saints. 3-0 ball game. Blues lead in the top of the 7th. The 2-2. Ryan pops it up and out of play. 2-2 once again.
Yeah, it is later. It's in November. So I think I'm still going to lean right now.
You might have convinced me, I think.
Because the college baseball World Series kind of equates to the MLB playoffs in ways. You know, it's college versus professional, but then you have the NBA playoffs rather than just NBA regular season.
2-2 misses low, and 3 straight balls from Jaden Turner makes it a 3-2 count to Jax Ryan.
You got Stanley Cup Finals rather than an NHL regular season. You do get the NFL side of things, which we're not getting any football right now.
You're getting delusional takes in training camp.
It's true.
Got that.
Full count with a runner on second, 2 out.
Here's the payoff. And pitch misses low. 4 straight balls from Jaden Turner and a 6-pitch walk to Jax Ryan. Meeting at the mound as Dean Traynor comes out there to talk to his right-hander and Jaden Turner.
Just calm him down. 2 on. First time Turner's even allowed a single base runner. They're an out away from getting out of this inning. When you work from 0-2 to a walk with 2 outs, it's just a sign of concern for any manager. So he just wants to go out there and make sure everything's okay with him and calm him down. Sean York is still getting warm, but I think Turner will at least get to finish this inning unless something crazy happens.
Yeah, York is not throwing any pitches in the bullpen right now, as Dean looks like he is not intending on making any moves at the mound. Home plate umpire coming up to break the meeting. Blues up 3-0 in the top of the 7th inning. They have 7 hits on the night, and a lot of them are coming from the 3rd inning, where they put together all 3 of those runs. A sac fly from Kate O'Hara, an RBI single from Logan Hart. So now we dig in. Levi Medella, the first baseman, batting 7th. Runners on 1st and 2nd. He represents the tying run with 2 outs. First pitch to Medella, and he takes low. Button blocks it in front, 1-0.
Man, Button 0 for 3 at the plate today, but has been perfect behind the dish.
Medella, a Hawaiian from Wailuku Bay in Hawaii, was a Rainbow Warrior his first season in 2023, redshirted, and now is at Shorter University. Fastball missing low, 2-0. Played at Shorter University in 2024. Started in 33 games, collected 32 hits, 5 homers, 8 doubles, and a triple. Was the 2-time Freshman of the Week in 2024, and redshirted this past season. 2-0. He swings and pops it up. Third baseman Ardois and the catcher Button charge it. Ardois scaling the fence, makes the grab and keeps his balance. Home plate umpire saying it touched the netting first, and Ardois is furious. Dean Traynor quickly ascends from the dugout.
And it was interesting because Ardois was talking to the home plate umpire, and Button was bigger than that. He just looked at Dean and said, "Get on out here, man. That did not hit the netting." This is definitely one where they could talk about it and overturn this. You know, the home plate umpire was all the way over next to the netting, but the other umpires, if they were watching, could see if, you know, the netting moved or something like that from the ball clipping it. From my vantage point, I honestly think it did hit the netting.
I would say the next best person to have this angle would be the third base umpire.
Mm-hmm. The thing with the third base umpire right now is with runners on 1st and 2nd, he's over at 2nd base, a couple steps to the left of 2nd base from our view. So it'll be interesting to see what they rule this as. Currently, it's just a strike.
And they're currently talking this over, and it's a foul ball. So Ardois, who might have tweaked his ankle in the process, very frustrated after making a great play scaling the netting. And they being Button and Ardois, were very passionate about that being a made play. So either way, it's a flashy strike 1 to Levi Medella. Hallworth at 2nd and Jax Ryan at 1st. And a 2-1 count with 2 gone. Runner goes to 3rd. The throw down to Ardois. Got him! Nico Button guns down the center fielder Hogworth for the third out of the 7th inning. Blues still up 3-0. It's time to stretch at Sinsheimer on SLO Blues Streaming Network. Top of the order due up for San Luis Obispo. Bottom half of the 7th inning. Blues lead 3-0 over the Arroyo Seco Saints. And it's EJ Royal riding a 6-game hitting streak. He's 1 for 3 today. Here's the first pitch, and Royal takes it outside, ball 1. It's Daniel Tovar back on the hill for the Arroyo Seco Saints, the Wolfpack from the University of Nevada, Reno. Played a couple seasons at LA Valley College, now playing D1 at Nevada. 1-0. Royal takes this one, and it's a called strike on the outer half, 1-1. EJ trying to up those power numbers this summer. We've talked about it before with Rene Regalado, separating the lower half from the upper half. Something he hadn't realized before this summer. 1-1. EJ swings and sends it straight back for strike 2. Because the way Royal collects base hits, they're not always hard pieces of contact. While he has a really good up-the-middle approach to the field, they'll often be 70-mile-an-hour sinkers into right field and to left, but starting to find his power stroke here in the summer. Here's the 1-2. EJ takes a fastball in the outer half for strike 3. Daniel Tovar paints the corners and collects his second strikeout of the day.
EJ not too happy with that call, and he has a right to be. According to our technology up here, that ball missed by about 2 baseballs.
So here's Cade O'Hara. He has struck out a couple of times today. Pair that with a sacrifice fly in the 3rd inning. The only inning where any runs were scored today. All 3 came in the 3rd for the Blues, as he's tardy on a fastball here for strike 1.
And the Blues have only recorded 1 hit since that 3rd inning. Bats have gone pretty quiet.
Here's the 0-1. O'Hara flinches, and it's a called strike, 0-2. And we talk about not being complacent in a game like this. You get the blow-up inning in the 3rd with your 3 runs. Got to keep the pedal to the metal. 0-2. O'Hara watches a slider outside. It rolls into the backstop for ball 1. It's the ideology that Dean Traynor is trying to instill on these young baseball players. He has 50 years of baseball experience. He has managed and coached many teams along the way, from high school to Major League World Series winning teams. 1-2. O'Hara swings and pops it up foul. 1-2 once again.
O'Hara hasn't been super productive at the plate this series. He was 0 for 4 yesterday with a strikeout. He's 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts. He did get an RBI in today's game, but after a pretty hot season to the start for him at the plate, he's cooled off a little.
Trying to hop off the schneid here with 1 out. 1-2 count. O'Hara gets underneath this one and hits a towering pop-up into shallow left field. And right, backing up, and the shortstop makes the flat-footed grab for the second out.
Dropped that back shoulder a little too much. Hit a home run in an elevator shaft. And right, just camped under that for about 10 seconds before it came down into his mitt.
I think Cade's eyes got pretty big on that pitch, elevated in the zone. He knows he can handle it and has before. I always think about that double he hit a couple weekends ago in the left center gap here at Sinsheimer. It's the farthest hit ball I've ever seen him hit. One hopping the left center fence around the 380 mark. And here's a guy who's really hot so far. Logan Hart, in a small sample size, is 2 for 3 today in his Blues debut. Drove in a run with his RBI single in the 3rd inning. The 0-1. He swings and misses here for strike 2.
In contention for our Dog of the Day award with his 2 hits, his RBI, his extra base hit, and his diving play outright.
That's right. Some good defense over in right field, too. His first day playing at Sinsheimer. The 0-2. He flinches, but it misses outside, 1-2. And Gavin Smith is a sneaky candidate, too, but I think the big separator is that Hart made a great play and he drove in a run.
Mm-hmm.
2-hit day for Gavin Smith, who stands in the hole. The 1-2. Hart swings and misses for strike 3. 1-2-3 inning for the Blues. We head into the 8th. 3-0 San Luis Obispo on the Slow Blues streaming network. Imagine if we beat the Saints. Sean York is a new pitcher for San Luis Obispo. Jaden Turner's day is done, and a pretty nice outing for the right-hander from Allen Hancock College. 4 innings of work, no hits, no runs, 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. 2 up, it's bottom 3 in the order. Levi Medella, Gannon Schneider, and Joey Milto. First pitch from York, and it's a called strike 0-1. So Medella was up in the 7th inning when Lane Haworth was caught stealing at third for the final out, and it was a laser from Button behind the dish. Here's the 0-1. Swinging and missing at a sweeper here for strike 2. Nice pitch from Sean York.
Saints are a really good ball club. I'm surprised that the Blues pitching staff has been able to hold them to just one hit, but they look good out there. They look sharp. Sean York will look to pick up right where Jaden Turner left off.
The 0-2. Sweeper into the chest of Nico Button as he blocked it behind home plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And these Saints hitters have adapted well to the slider on the outer half. Turner and Kovac fed a healthy dosage of those early on, and they've done a good job laying off of it later in the innings. 1-2 is sent the opposite way, ranging to his right is Smith, and he makes the running grab. Nice snag from Gavin Smith, and left, there's 1 gone in the 8th.
Really good play by Smith. He's primarily an outfielder for the Crimson, but we haven't seen him there yet this year, and it's his first really challenging play he's had to make, and he does a good job with it.
Rangy play out in left field, and now it's Gannon Snyder. He has the only Saints hit today. It was a double in the 3rd inning. First pitch, and he watches it a called strike 0-1. And paired that double with a strikeout swinging in the 5th against Jaden Turner. One of his 3 in his 4 innings of work. And Sean York making his 5th appearance for the Blues, a 1.76 ERA. 0-1 is swung on and missed for strike 2. 7 strikeouts in his 5 1/3 innings pitched before today's outing. Just allowed 1 earned run. The 0-2. Slider taken outside, but too far off the plate, 1-2.
That's a great pitch in an 0-2 count. Ball just missed, and definitely a pitch that he could have got Schneider to offer at. A really good take at the dish.
Like I said, these Saints hitters have adapted well to the Blues pitching. The off-speed and even the fastballs away to each handedness of hitters. The 1-2. Fastball off the hands and right to the shortstop O'Hara for the 2nd out.
Weak line out right at O'Hara. Blues defense has played really well in today's game. That was an easy play for O'Hara, but overall, a couple rangy plays in the outfield, a couple of good stops on the infield, and a very clean game defensively.
And maybe a play against the 3rd base netting that Sam Ardois made that is debatable, I guess. So here's the 9-hole hitter, Joey Milto, 0 for 2 today. Sweeper out of the hand of York, misses outside, 1-0. Milto was the victim of a great Josh Hart play in right field. Diving towards second base, made a dazzling grab. A 1-0. Slider missing low, 2 balls and no strikes. There's a right-hander getting hot in the Blues bullpen. A couple of them as one gets loose for the Saints. Spencer Gallimore getting loose. 2-0. Pitch missing inside. 3 straight balls from Sean York. 3-0. Cooper Bagby and Spencer Gallimore. Double barrel action in that Blues pen. Blues up 3-0 in the top of the 8th inning at Sinsheimer. A tranquil night on the Central Coast. A nippy night as well. 3-0. Pitch high and outside. A 4-pitch walk to Joey Milto with 2 outs. First time that Milto has reached on base today, and the 4th walk allowed by Blues pitching. A 2-out base runner for Trotter Enright.
We're in the top of the 8th inning, and you've only allowed 5 base runners. Huge win for the pitching staff. That's incredible.
Certainly locked in well today. Ryan and I have talked about the woes of starting pitching this summer. Luke Kovac came in fresh off an American Airlines flight. 3 innings of work, a hit, no runs, and 4 strikeouts. Runner shuffles off first. The first pitch to Enright is a taken strike, 0-1. Enright 0 for 3 today with a trio of ground ball outs, all to different parts of the infield. York comes set from the stretch. Strides and shoots from the belt. And a slider looked like it clipped the outer half, but just off the plate, 1-1. And that was a hanger, too. If Trotter Enright expands his zone there, he can serve a base hit in the left field, no problem with how that pitch just kind of fluttered over the plate. Conservative lead at first base for Milto, as the 1-1 is popped up high in the air and playable in the infield. Who will get there? It will be Sam Ardois off the palm and off the chest, making the grab. Runner stranded on first base. An infield pop-up from Trotter Enright retires the side. Into the bottom of the 8th we go. Blues up 3-0. The frame brought to you by Educational Employees Credit Union. Bottom of the 8th inning is brought to you by Educational Employees Credit Union. Proudly serving the Central Coast, EECU is located in Paso Robles and can be found at myeecu.org. Experience smarter banking at Educational Employees Credit Union. Middle of the order due up for San Luis Obispo. Andrew Raymond, Gavin Smith, and Eli Henderson. Blues up 3-0 over the Arroyo Seco Saints. First pitch, and Raymond bounces it up the middle, and the shortstop Enright is there, who throws on the run, and Raymond can't beat out the throw. A new pitcher in as well, Ethan Moran, the right-hander, replacing Daniel Tovar. That was a nice play by the shortstop Enright, too. I thought this was destined for a single with those high bounces in front of Hallworth, but Enright comes out of nowhere and makes the rangy play, moving to his left. So here's Gavin Smith as the catcher connects with Smith behind the dish. Dean Traynor having a word with the first base umpire, questioning that call. And it was a great hustle down the first base line for Andrew Raymond. He's got some speed as an outfielder, and he tested it out on Enright, who made a great play moving to his left. Raymond stole 6 bags this past season as a Bronco at Santa Clara. And in his 6'5" frame, he can certainly stride it out down the line. So Traynor retreats back to the dugout. The call will stand. And Gavin Smith is due up for San Luis Obispo. With one gone, it's Smith, who has a 2-hit day. Stole second base in the 5th. A pair of singles and grounded out to the third baseman, Ryan, who has had a great day defensively. Smith, the utility man from Harvard, against Ethan Moran, the new pitcher for the Saints. The first offering is a fastball in the outer half, 0-1. Smith batting south of 200 this summer, but has driven in 13 runs. 9 hits, and 3 of them for extra bases. A couple of doubles and a home run. The 0-1. Gavin flinches on a curveball. That's a called strike, 0-2.
Sub 200 average with 13 driven in tells me that he just comes up in big situations but struggles, in the normal 1 through 8 and has to figure out how to make those at-bats more meaningful.
Ethan Moran comes set underneath the lights at Sinsheimer. As the sun sets, the 0-2. Smith swings and foul tips it into the mid of Connect for strike 3. Retired for the second time today. There's 2 gone in the 8th, and that brings up Eli Henderson, who struck out looking the last time he was up. And Henderson got fooled on a slider. That's not something you see often, and that's how he went down last time in the 5th. Aside from that, a sac bunt in the 3rd, which proved to be successful as the Blues scored 3 runs in that inning, and also a ground out to the shortstop and right. First pitch, Henderson takes low and in, ball 1. Eli last night was a perfect 2 for 2. Stole a base and evened it out with a caught stealing and also a hit by pitch as well. A good defenseman over at second base too. His glove has been very valuable for the Blues. 1-0. Henderson with a slow roller to the shortstop Enright, who charges it and hurls it over to first in time, and the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 8th. Last chance for the Saints in the top of the 9th. Blues up 3-0 on the Slow Blues streaming network. Top of the 9th inning here at Sinsheimer Stadium. The Blues trying to close the door against the Arroyo Seco Saints. 3-0 lead over the CCL foe. And Sean York heads back out there and misses low and outside for ball 1 against the leadoff man, J.J. Connect.
Sean York looking to get a 6-out save. The Blues, despite having 11 wins, have only recorded 2 saves this summer.
A 1-0. And Connect takes a called strike, evens it up at 1-1. And funny seeing Sean York come back out there too, because the Blues had 2 right-handers warming in the bullpen.
Check that, only 1 save actually.
Wow. 1-1 at Connect. And a fastball and a called strike, 1-2. Kinnett 0 for 3 today, 2 pop-outs and a ground ball out in the 6th. From the windup, low 1-2. And Kinnett sends a line drive into left field, and Smith can't get there. Leadoff single for J.J. Kinnett. The last time the Saints got a base hit, it was back in the 3rd. We're in the top of the 9th inning. It's been 6 innings since they've collected a hit, and they break that streak here in the 9th.
18 outs recorded since the last hit from the Saints. The pitching staff has been really good today, and it's shown on just those numbers alone. And they've kept the walk numbers down. So Blues got a battle now, though. It's actually both times have been leadoff hits.
A double in the 3rd and now a single in the 9th. That double came from Gannon Snyder. This single from J.J. Kinnett. Here's a called strike to Lane Haworth, 0-1. Haworth has drawn a pair of walks today and was caught stealing at 3rd by Nico Button, who gunned him down for the final out of the 7th. And so popped out to the second baseman, Henderson, as Kinnett shuffles off first. Pitch missing outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hayworth, a left-handed hitting center fielder, batting 3rd today for Arroyo Seco. Standing on deck, it's Jack Little. He represents the tying run. 1-1, and it flutters above the zone. 2 balls and a strike now.
Nice looking backdoor slider, just didn't get it down enough, but a pitch definitely might come back to in this at-bat.
That slider's been looking good for Sean York, and as I've said before, these Saints hitters have laid off the stuff outside late in the innings. 2-1. Foul tipped and sent straight back, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sean York looking for a ground ball anywhere in the infield to try to turn a double play and get closer to ending this ball game. A 6:03 start. The Blues have a chance to finish it with the sun still out. The 2-2. Slider swung on and missed. Strike 3. Another strikeout for Sean York and a big first out for the Blues in the 9th.
Good looking pitch from York. I said he might go back to that slider, and he did just that in a high leverage spot, 2-2 count. And he gets a swing and a miss by Haworth. 2 outs away from a win.
Here's Jack Little, 0 for 3 today. Like many Saints hitters, Little sends this the opposite way and out of play, 0-1. The way that the Blues have been able to hold down this Arroyo Seco team, which is 5-3 on the summer, 3rd place in the CCL South, is impressive. Started out hot this summer. Their bats flashing. They have the reigning player of the week in the CCL. And here's a called strike, 0-2. Fans bellow for their hot sauce and an 0-2 count and a runner on first. A right-hander, Little, digs in the batter's box. A crater formed by a plethora of right-handed hitters. Pitch missing outside, 1-2. Trying to put together a good at-bat for his Saints. Tying run on deck for Arroyo Seco. Saints just recorded their first base hit in 6 innings. A leadoff single from J.J. Kinnett at first. 1-2 is sent in the air to right center field. It's falling fast, but the second baseman Henderson is there in shallow right to make the play. 2 outs following the leadoff single from Kinnett, and the Blues an out away from getting a win in their final game of the homestand. So here's Freer now, last chance for Arroyo Seco. Down to their final out at Sinsheimer Stadium before they hop on a bus and head up to Sonoma to play the Stompers. York comes set against Freer. Pitch is lined and out of the stadium, foul, 0-1.
St. Shotton Stadium for the first strike of the clock.
Freer 0 for 3 today with a couple of strikeouts. Ground ball back to the pitcher, Jaden Turner. A peek at first, and York comes set. Tarman holding on the runner and Kinnett. 0-1, and it hits the batter, Jacob Freer. So that puts the tying run at the plate with 2 outs.
Not an ideal situation. You definitely don't want to give the Saints any signs of life, and by bringing the tying run to the plate, you do just that. Now York in a very high leverage spot has to work to get a win.
Dean Traynor is going to let York eat as Jax Ryan steps in. He's had a good day defensively at the hot corner for the Saints. Dean Traynor tells his outfield to play back. No doubles situation. That would bring the game within 1 run. As Rene Regalado relays the message to the outfielders as well. Hart doesn't seem to understand. Now he starts to backpedal towards the fence.
Assistant coach for the SLO Blues, Rene Regalado, signaled the
And if you're playing no doubles too, you need the corners to pinch the gaps a little bit more. But Smith and Hart are staying in their spots.
Don't want to be caught with the ball flying over your head in the outfield, especially at this time of the day where balls
There are pretty big gaps in left and right center, so they're going to stay at their regular positions. As a matter of fact, I would almost say they're hugging the lines.
Yeah.
Ryan on a half swing sends it into the netting behind home plate for strike 1. Jax has struck out looking, popped out to right, and has walked in this ball game. An 0 for 2 day with a walk and a strikeout. Drove in 14 this past season with the Sun Devils at Arizona State in his 25 hits. The 0-1 is a called strike. 0-2. That's a big call for Sean York right there. That could have gone either way. Instead of it being 1-1, it's 0-2.
Strike away from getting a win and going 2-1 on this homestand.
Would be a big shift after a 1-3 road trip. The 0-2. And Ryan checks the swing but didn't go around. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
out of the zone for ball 1. Saints aren't out of it yet.
1 home run for Jax Ryan in his college career. It came this season with the Sun Devils. The 1-2. Ryan swings and misses. The pitch gets away. Button gets there. Bare hands it. Throws it over to first in time. And the Blues win.
That wraps it up. Your Blues win
2 hours and 29 minutes. The final in this game. It's 3-0. The Blues take the dub and will have a happy bus ride to Southern California and a team dinner at Chuck E. Cheese.
Great game for the Blues, specifically the pitching staff. 2 hits and 9 innings of ball against a team that has proven to be good thus far into CCL play. Overall, just a great game for the staff. The bats weren't really there. Nate Mills, I didn't want to say it, 0 errors.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it either. Third game of the summer where the Blues did not commit an error. They are 2-1 when they don't have an error. Just a very clean and crisp ball game for this team. Look, they had some good pitchers on their side as well. A couple of nasty guys like Cade Chamard looked really good, Daniel Tovar. Even the starter, Joseph Estrada, who allowed those 6 hits and 3 earned runs, he looked good too. This is a good team across the other side of the dugout, and if the Blues coming out with a 3-0 W against Arroyo Seco, that's pretty big, and it should send a message throughout the CCL. They can compete and be a playoff team, although it doesn't really feel like it at this point in the summer, because if the season ended, they would not make the playoffs, and they're 2.5 games behind the Sonoma Stompers. You got to start somewhere, and it's a good start to get it against a good team like Arroyo Seco. And now you just got to do it 3 more times on the road.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing you look at from tonight is they got the win, but they still didn't piece everything together. The hitting wasn't there today, but the fielding was, the base running was, and the pitching was. Last night, the base running wasn't there, but the hitting was there, the pitching was there, and the fielding was there. So, like, at some point, you need to just combine all of these together. and make it one cohesive unit where you can hit, you can field, you can pitch, you can base run, and you're a dominant baseball team. The pieces are there because they've shown it in games. They just haven't really had a game where all 4 of those components are very apparent.
90% of their offense came in the 3rd inning, that 3 spot where the Blues put up 5 hits and 3 runs, 1 extra base hit from Sam Ardois, RBI single from Logan Hart, and sacrifice fly from Cade O'Hara. And that was literally about it for this ball game. Other than that, it was pitching from both sides that just shut down both of the offenses. Dog of the day, though, for the Blues, it was a tough decision. It will go to Logan Hart, though. In his Blues debut, going 2 for 4, an RBI single, and a great play in right field. I think that's worthy of Dog of the Day. Although, got to give an honorable mention to Luke Kovac. He pitched excellent, too.
Jaden Turner as well. Honestly, the whole pitching staff could have got Dog of the Day. It's a 3-man Dogs of the Day. But Logan Hart, an impressive debut that's going to have Blues fans excited to see what he can do. Honestly, a stacked outfield room with Ashlock, Royal, Jordan, Hart, Raymond. There's a bunch of guys out there who can bang the ball around and play good defense. So it's going to be interesting to see how Dean Traynor uses all of them together, but a really good game for Hart to start off his Blues campaign. Not his first time in the CCL, but his first time wearing the blue and yellow.
And that makes it interesting for Dean Traynor now, too, because what's nice about this win for the Blues, they didn't do it without potentially arguably two of their best hitters in Don Jordan and Mason Ashlock. You had Gavin Smith and Logan Hart out there, who both had 2-hit days. So they both came through when their name was called upon, and it's a really good problem to have if you're Dean Traynor, too. So the Blues win 3-0 against the Arroyo Seco Saints. A happy bus ride into Southern California, and we'll wrap it up here on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Thank you for tuning in. Nate Mills alongside Ryan Giacomini signing off. We'll see you in SoCal.